I'm Michelle Weber, and some of you know that I am a psychotherapist, addiction specialist, life coach, and an actress. I have a story for you today, and it's quite an interesting story, if I do say so myself. I have a lot of stories. This takes place, let me think about this, in the late 80s. And I was asked to design and direct a residential treatment program for female addicts and their babies. Well, I had done drugs in the past, my share of drugs, and I have designed many programs for mental health and substance abuse treatment. And I thought, why not give it a shot? I also ran programs for women in treatment, but never before for female addicts and their babies. This was a challenge. So I was hired, and the house was available, and it was empty. I had to furnish the entire house. I had to sign all kinds of rules and regulations with the health department, probation, welfare, you name it. And I had to hire the staff. And then it was time to screen and accept clients. And my first client, her name was Rosie. She was a Black woman, and I have a reason for telling you this, so stay with me and you'll know why. She came to me with her probation officer, and he said, this is her last chance. Either she goes to prison, she was pregnant, has her baby there, her baby gets taken away, or she comes into your program, she completes the program, and she can do this instead of prison. Will you take her? I said, of course I'll take her. Why wouldn't I? Now, I looked at Rosie. She was high on heroin, pregnant, and looked really bad. She'd been living in the streets. I said to her, okay, I am going to accept you into this program, but I know you need to go home and get some clothes, get your stuff together, and come back. Well, she lived about a half hour away. We were in Connecticut. And I said, how long do you need, babe? And she said, I'll be back tomorrow. I said, you don't know who you're talking to. You're not going to go home and tell me you're coming back tomorrow. I said, you're going to get high. You might never come back. No. Go home, half an hour to get there, half an hour to pack your things, half an hour to come back. I want you back in an hour and a half. And the probation officer said, I think we finally found the right place. He says, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go with her. I said, good. Okay. Rosie comes back. She starts the program. I screen a bunch of women, a whole bunch of other women. They come in with little girls. They're pregnant. We get them placed. I assign them to staff. And the program is going along. And let me just share with you, we had therapy groups for the women. We had parenting groups for the women. We had a therapeutic nursery for their little ones. We worked with the health department. We gave them information on HIV and AIDS, because at that point it was still pretty rampant. We did everything that we could possibly think for them that they would need. And we also got them away from their Johns, who had been treating them like dog shit. And we took their phones away for the first month. Some of them were not happy about that, but if they wanted to stay, they had to go by the rules. Well, a couple of weeks into the program, my staff came to me and said, we're having a real problem with Rosie. I said, what do you mean? They said, she just has an attitude. She's got a bad attitude. She's nasty. She doesn't do what we ask her to do. I said, okay, let me talk to her. So I sat down with her and I took her hands. I said, hey, Rosie. I said, what the fuck? What's going on here? Why are you having such an attitude? What? Tell me. And she actually looked at me and had the audacity to say, you want me to be white. I said, what? I said, are you fucking kidding me? I want you to be white? I said, no, I want you to behave. I don't care what color you are, honey. I want you to stay in the program, but I want you to behave. Listen to the rules. Be a part of the program. I said, come on, give it a chance. Well, she started to laugh, and she nodded her head in agreement, and something started to change. And she really became integrated into the program. Now, a couple of other things that I asked that we do for the women was to help them with job interviews. Because as the months went on, we knew they would need to find a way to support themselves financially and not go back into the streets. So we did role playing with job interviews. We also got Dress for Success, where it was a program that would come in and they could pick beautiful outfits that were donated for their job interviews. I also had a friend come in and help them with their makeup and their hair. So as they were getting healthy inside, they were starting to look beautiful on the outside. Most women were with us for almost a year, and I could watch each of them gradually feel better about themselves. And I used to tell them how strong they were, and they would say, "What do you mean?" And I would say, "I couldn't survive on the streets, ever, but you did. And now you're here, and you're safe, and you've got the chance of a good future ahead of you." I had one person call me. It was the middle of winter. It was freezing, and we were full. And she was a healthcare worker, and she said, "I have a young woman with a baby. She's pregnant. She needs your program." I said, "I'm full. I can't let her in. It's against the rules." And she said, "It's freezing. She has nowhere to go." And I thought, what, am I going to let her stay in the streets? I said, "Bring her." And I put her in the living room. And I thought, I don't think they're going to arrest me for bringing this woman in, where it was 5 degrees out. Okay, so Rosie stays in the program. She starts to integrate into the program. She starts to look like a different person. You could see she feels better about herself. She's becoming a great parent. She gave birth in the program. Her little one is maybe a few months old, and it's time for her to graduate. If I could show you the before and after pictures, it would blow your mind. She looked like a whole new woman. Beautiful to look at, holding herself high, feeling good about herself. You could see she felt dignity about herself. She had a job waiting for her when she left. She had an apartment. And that day that we said goodbye to her, we knew that she would succeed. She really was a success story. And I remember the day that she left, we hugged her, we sent her on her way. And there were tears, because we weren't going to be seeing her anymore. She graduated, and her family came, and we were thrilled. And we said goodbye to her. Now, this story is going to have 2 different endings, and one is true and one is false. We said goodbye to her, and she kept in touch with us every month, letting us know how she was doing, what she was doing, how her job was working out. When she had issues, she would call us. We would help her. What kind of parenting she was doing. She was making friends. She was succeeding. And month after month, we heard from her and followed her. She succeeded in life. She made it, and we were thrilled. The other ending is that Rosie left, feeling great about herself, looking beautiful, having so much dignity, but we never heard from her again, and we couldn't find her when we tried. So I am offering you this story, and I am asking you to decide which ending is true. Did we hear from her every month? Did she connect with us after she left? Did we follow her and see how she was doing? Or did she leave and disappear? I would love to hear from you what you think is the true ending to this story. Thanks so much for listening. Bye, guys.